All right. I've been wanting to do this since last week, this subject, and because I saw the movie on Netflix, Leave the World Behind, it really pushed me to do this, and I couldn't really do it because I couldn't really think of like what it was, what numbers, what were the answers to the question. I want to give 3 answers to the question, and I couldn't really think of 3 or what the top 3 was. And I still don't think I know specifically what the top 3 are, but let's go anyway. Welcome to the Sci-Fi Express Lane. This is Jeff Carroll, award-winning science fiction pioneer, filmmaker, comic book and writer, right? Comic book creator and writer. All right, so today's topic is, what are the big what ifs for Black science fiction to answer? And the 3 that I think of is like the future of AI technology and robots. I must combine that all into one. The future of kind of global human relations. I don't want to just pocket it to black people and white people because, Arabs are probably bigger, oppressors, probably, who knows. And it ain't just, of course it's for black science fiction, but, for people to and I don't want to get into dystopian, so this is like my post-apocalyptic category. So the future of race relations, human, earth, whatever. Right, straight terrestrial future, right? And then I think we need to speculate about space. So those are like the 3 ones that I think are the biggest what ifs for Black science fiction writers to write. And of course, so it's AI and robots, right? And it's probably, I don't say post-apocalypse because you got to already believe that the world is going to come to an end to write a post-apocalyptic story. So I just want to say like the future of Earth, because maybe Black sci-fi writers don't see the world as coming to a tragic end, so that's 2. And then the 3rd one is like space, like, and keeping that open, like, not a space war, just like what if. So let me go into each one of them, and maybe I can challenge you to join in, right? I think these should be like 3 anthologies, or at least an anthology in 3 parts. But I would love to see Black science fiction writers speculate about the future of, of these things, right? Earth, AI, and space. So why is it important for Black people to speculate about technology and AI? I think that is probably the most timely topic, right? We've seen Isaac Asimov come up with his robot speculation. And when I say like Black people need to do it, it's not that it wasn't speculated about before, but it's really never really focused on it. These are things that mainstream white writers have been speculating about since the 50s, maybe even earlier than that. I'm not talking about, going into the journey of the center Earth, not talking about going into the human body, journey, what is it? Fantastic Voyage, I'm talking about like regular robots, how we talk about AI. I think it's so important. As a school teacher, we deal with AI like as a combatant. It is a tool for us, but the tool for everybody can dumb down learning. Like when you've already learned something, AI helps you do it easier, right? So like I'll use AI to spell check and give me suggestions on stories that I've written, right? But for kids that are learning how to write, it can be a detriment. It can hamper, and it can prevent them from learning, right? What is robots? Robot and AI. I'm a big, proponent that AI is not intelligent. So I'm just calling it AI because that's kind of what everybody understands when I'm talking about it. But what AI is just, quick response, quick searches, regurgitating information that it was already programmed. AI is just a fast processor, Can it create something on its own? Yeah, it will create it, but it will still be based on how it learned to create. There's something about, and there's also said nothing new under the sun. So you could argue that even human beings regurgitate what they have learned in the direction, and I'm trying to break people out of that creative box. And even the people that you think are the most wildly creative, if you got a transcript of everything they was exposed to in their lives, you would see sparks that trigger people's imagination. So even that. So who knows? I don't know even if humans create original ideas, and I'm a creator, but I don't think robots do it yet, and I don't think robots can do it, or AI program software can create something original. I know we've been battling with AI designs for a long time. I still think AI story written stuff is just they're human assistants. But what is the future of that? And also, like technology, we've been viewing technology as the enemy of humanity, but yet technology is the second great equalizer for race relations in America. So I'm, with the red light camera, the body cam, internet being undefeated, all these historical things that we are learning, we're rewriting history. They can't argue these lies that they used to. So is technology really an enemy of humanity? Maybe for some people it is, but it isn't for black people. And I would like to see that further explored. The second one is, what do you call it? I guess the second one I want to get into is we have AI, right? And that's robots, right? But let's go into space, right? So what is the future of space? What does space hold? Why are we so scared of it, right? Why are we so scared of space when we don't know? Space hasn't even attacked us. Billions of years, only thing that happened was particles of rock have hit Earth, right? But they are like looking for microbes to say, all right, the aliens are octopus because they're sport. Okay, well then octopus have hidden in the bottom of the ocean. They're not crawling on ground to try to attack and kill us, but they're so threatened by it. And when I see like those sci-fi stories, they make space seem so spooky and unfriendly and antagonizing. I wonder, I think that's why I was attracted to Star Wars, because Star Wars didn't make space seem like it was the threat. It just seemed like space was just a storyboard, and maybe that's it. But I would like to see what black people think it is more. I mean, we always see, science fiction stories where aliens come to Earth and they come in our minds, and UFO sightings. And I think that's beautiful, but that's them coming to Earth. What does their planet look like? Why are they coming here? What makes us so unique, interesting? So I think space, and I don't want to put anything on it beyond just space. What does it hold? What is it? let's speculate about it. And of course, I want to deal with life on other planets. I want to deal with life in space, the human factor. We got to deal with it. And then the last area that I think is a big what if, man. I know I went out of order, but I think this is the one I wanted to close out on. I saw the movie with Julia Roberts and Mahershala Ali, Ethan Hawke, Kevin Bacon, and a couple of the up-and-coming actors and actresses. I think it was Let It End or something. I can't remember the name. I said too much. I should have wrote it down. But it was a post-apocalyptic story. They had bunkers in there. They had human tragedy. And it wasn't as gloomy and doomy as other post-apocalyptic, like The Road, like a Book of Eli, and I know it wasn't as far, it was immediate, like it just happened, but it wasn't that type of thing. And we don't even know if it's global, it may be just that area. We don't even know. And that's the cool thing about the post-apocalypse. When it happens, you may not have global warming. It may not be like the day after tomorrow. It may just be like immediate in your area. It may not be like 2012 where they fully see it coming. But it may be very local, like Dawn of the Dead, And even with Dawn of the Dead, they had radios. Like they had in, what do you call it? What's the name of that? Not Dawn of the Dead, Walking Dead, right? In The Walking Dead. At least Dawn of the Dead had radios and they let you know. But shoot, 28 days later, it wasn't even global. It was just local, but it didn't really matter because that's where you are. Zombie apocalypse, that's always interesting, like World War Z. But just exploring the post-apocalypse, I remember when I was researching it for my series, The Harlem Shake, I was looking at post-disasters, right? Because if you're going to look at, a threat like a hurricane or earthquakes, taking us out, like on the level of 2012 or Day After Tomorrow, and Day After Tomorrow is actually pretty good. But in real life, when we have earthquakes, we have tsunamis and all that, people don't go after each other. And I know they know it's not global, so maybe that changes things. But I wonder if black people, because I know in my story, I don't have people going after each other per se. I have pockets of people responding differently. But by and large, you're not walking through the post-apocalypse like Walking Dead, where people are worse than the zombies. In Walking Dead, you'd actually want to see some zombies, be like, thank God it's not people. That's how bad the people are in Walking Dead. But I wonder what, our post-human life would be like. What is the end, when we deal with like things like, January 6th, where, you almost thought that race relations would cause the end of America. And I know that wasn't necessarily what they were fighting for. They thought the election was stolen. But the problem is they thought the election was stolen from black and brown people and black and brown sympathizers. So what is, the future of race relations? I just seen a TikTok video where a white lady in a mask was talking to an African about borders and Europeans, countries being, saturated with, African migrants or immigrants, right? And that's so bad. And it's like, oh my God, what do we do? All right, so what is the future of race relations? Maybe, white people are not going to speculate about it only, but we need to do it. And Leave the World Behind, or whatever that movie was I just saw, with Julia Roberts. I think it dealt with it a little bit, but they didn't really deal with their racial divisions, right? And not all white people have a fear of black people, but it is interesting to see it played out. Even when it does, will we be able to get over our racial challenge? And I don't even say I would just say, you think white people will get over their fear of people of color? Black people will whatever caused Arabs to do what they do, in the northern part of Africa, whatever they get over that, I don't know. And how could they, and what would it look like if they do? I mean, these stories just leap over that future of race relations and just show a homogeneous society. But let's deal with the actual elephant in the room. How do we get there? Anyway, that's just something that I was thinking about. All right, y'all, those are the big three sci-fi questions that I think black writers should write about. AI and robots, the future of humanity on Earth, and then space. Those are the three big ones. All right, out of here. Peace.